But the other thing, everybody, that is a real danger to our technological society is different from 1859. The end is nigh, where we did 6 world-ending scenarios, or the one that really worries me is this very one.
Space weather forecasters are reporting severe geomagnetic storm conditions on the sun, including at least 5 strong solar flares since August 10th.
Imagine waking up tomorrow to find all technology rendered useless by a solar storm. This is not just a hypothetical scenario, it's a stark reminder of the dangers posed by variations in the sun's surface conditions. Our modern world relies heavily on reliable electricity infrastructure, communications, and navigation, all of which can be disrupted by powerful solar storms. As the world stands on the brink of technological collapse, one man steps forward with a dire warning. Bill Nye warns of an unprecedented G5 solar storm, a cataclysmic event that could plunge civilization into chaos and darkness. The question we must ask ourselves is whether our civilization is ready to withstand a disaster of this magnitude, or will we be consumed by the darkness that awaits? Join us as we explore Bill Nye's final warning about the extreme G5 solar storm. The huge solar storm that Earth has been experiencing in recent days serves as a clear illustration of the immense impact the sun has on our world. An enormous solar flare has triggered the strongest geomagnetic storm ever recorded in Earth's atmosphere. This storm has the potential to disrupt power grids, communications, and navigational systems, and could even cause the northern lights to be visible as far south as Florida and Southern California. As the sun's constant stream of radiation bombards Earth's magnetic field, the consequences may linger into the weekend. The NOAA, which keeps tabs on space weather, has issued an extraordinary storm watch, the first such advisory in 19 years, and has since raised it to a warning due to the solar activity's intensity. At least 5 of the sunspots that the organization has been tracking have begun to produce eruptions that might potentially impact Earth. The storm's most noticeable feature, the northern lights or auroras, will be seen by many people across the globe. However, governments and businesses will also be watching for how the event affects critical infrastructure such as GPS, radio communications, and power grid resilience. We had a taste of our sun's destructive effects on September 2nd, 1859. On that day, marine compasses stopped functioning, leading to the loss of some ships. Some telegraph lines caught fire, disrupting the networks. Notably, auroras were seen by folks in Mexico and the Caribbean, which is quite a way south. What occurred on that day more than 16 decades ago was likely an intense geomagnetic storm, according to scientists today. Since then, the 1859 storm has become known as the Carrington event. The event was named after British astronomer Richard Carrington, who discovered the solar flare that caused the storm. Richard Carrington was a well-known British astronomer of the 19th century whose focus was the sun. He was the first to discover that the sun doesn't spin as a solid body, but that solar material travels quicker at its equator than at its poles. He also found out where the sun's north and south poles are. Carrington discovered that the dark spots on the sun's surface, called sunspots, vary in latitude over the 11-year solar cycle. He and Richard Hodgson saw the first bona fide solar flare. He witnessed a brilliant burst of light on September 1st, 1859, while studying sunspots. Scientific consensus today holds that he witnessed the solar system-wide shock waves caused by the massive coronal mass ejection, an explosive event that occurred close to the sun's surface and was propelled by magnetic field lines. The next day, a massive storm hit Earth's magnetic field. When the sun is in the final stages of its 11-year cycle, coronal mass ejections are more abundant on its surface. It is now standard practice for our spacecraft to record coronal mass ejections, although there were suggestions that coronal mass ejections existed in the 19th century. Their discovery was still a ways off. It wasn't until 1971 that coronal mass ejections were detected by the Helios satellite using ultraviolet studies. The Royal Astronomical Society was promptly notified of the flash by Carrington. He likely didn't give it much more consideration until the next day, when the geomagnetic field went into overdrive due to the fast-moving solar particles making their way to Earth. The solar particle burst released around 10 to 35 electron volts of energy while buffeting, compressing, and distorting Earth's magnetosphere, encasing the planet in a roaring, writhing mass of high-energy particles. That's a 10 followed by 35 zeros. This amount of energy is equal to a 10 megaton nuclear bomb and is also equal to the amount of energy the Sun releases in about 10 seconds. As far as anyone knows, it was the strongest solar event in history. An urban legend claims a telegraph operator was paralyzed in one arm after waking from a shock-induced unconsciousness, though there's no evidence for this. The extreme geomagnetic storm ended the next day, and telegraph networks were repaired as the auroras faded. Understanding the 1859 event requires knowledge of the solar cycle, discovered by German amateur astronomer Samuel Heinrich Schwabe in 1843. After 17 years of observing the Sun, Schwabe found that sunspots varied in an 11-year cycle. His discovery showed the Sun's dynamic nature. The peak of solar cycle 10 was in February 1860, shortly after the Carrington event in September 1859. The 11-year solar cycle, driven by the Sun's magnetic field, peaks when the Sun's magnetic poles switch positions. During these peaks, intense solar phenomena, including coronal mass ejections, CMEs, are common. We're currently in such a period. Each CME releases about 1 billion tons of material, sometimes directed at Earth, causing geomagnetic storms. In March 1989, a major solar storm hit Quebec, Canada, knocking out power for over 9 hours and causing economic damage worth hundreds of millions. This event highlighted the vulnerability of modern infrastructure to space weather. The 2003 Halloween storms began on October 19th and reached their height just before Halloween, hence the name. Satellite communications, GPS systems, and power grids were all affected, and auroras were seen as far south as Florida and Texas. Radiation levels were so high that planes had to change their routes, and astronauts on the International Space Station had to seek refuge. The greatest violent solar storms of the first space period occurred in 2000 during the Bastille Day event, named after the French national celebration on July 14th. Approximately 24 hours after a large solar flare burst, Earth was hit by a coronal mass ejection. Intense auroras were visible across North America and Europe as a result of the storm, which also momentarily crippled a few satellites. It wreaked havoc on aviation and marine navigation by interfering with radio communications and GPS signals. One of the lesser-known but highly impactful solar storms happened in May 1921, affecting the northeastern US and parts of Europe. Geomagnetic disturbances were caused by the massive coronal mass ejection that impacted Earth. Disruptions to telegraph and telephone lines occurred, and fires broke out at some stations as a result of induced electric currents. Additionally, it disrupted transportation due to the widespread breakdown of railway signals. The current geomagnetic storm, rated G5 extreme by NOAA, is caused by a cluster of sunspots flaring and ejecting material every 6 to 12 hours. These storms, which occur when energetic particles from the Sun disturb Earth's magnetic field, can cause widespread blackouts, damage infrastructure, and disrupt satellites. The scientific community is preparing for multiple impacts. Why is this happening now? The Sun's activity peaks every 11 years, and we are currently at that peak. Since the cycle began in December 2019, there have been 3 major geomagnetic storms, but none were significant enough to trigger alerts. Bill Nye and NOAA officials explain that the current storm is due to the largest cluster of sunspots in this cycle, which has exceeded initial predictions. Although the Sun's rotation will soon position this cluster away from Earth, it will still produce more flares and expulsions. Scientists are uncertain if these sunspots will cause more activity when they reappear in the coming weeks. Are we to be concerned? No one on Earth's surface needs to be worried about solar storms. Even though these storms are terrifying to think about, they pose no threat to humans as long as we stay on land and the atmosphere protects us. Keep in mind that since the Sun and Earth came into existence, there is every indication that solar storms have been occurring for billions of years. In that case, they would be responsible for the evolution of all life on Earth. When it comes to space, how dangerous is a solar storm? Radiation poisoning can be caused by extremely high-energy particles, which are delivered by coronal mass ejections. This includes humans and other mammals. They would be dangerous to unshielded astronauts, such as astronauts traveling to the Moon or Mars. Large doses could be fatal. Solar storms can be dangerous to our technologies, though. Charged particles from a coronal mass ejection can slam into Earth's atmosphere, damaging or even destroying orbiting satellites and exposing planes in the sky to radiation. Their presence has the potential to interfere with navigational and phone systems. Entire cities and even regions have been blacked out due to their ability to disrupt power grids. People talking about power failures from solar storms always point back to March 13, 1989. This event cut off electricity to over 6 million people for 9 hours. But it's possible for solar storms to be even more powerful than the one that caused the 1989 Quebec and U.S. Northeast blackouts, such as the Carrington event or the 1859 solar superstorm. How would our lives be affected right now if a Carrington event were to occur today? Our world is totally different now. All around us, our technology is sophisticated and cutting edge. In a world where the internet has replaced telegraph lines as the primary means of communication, our lives are more interconnected than ever before. The first undersea transatlantic telegraph cable came just a year before the Carrington event in 1858. It connected North America with Europe for the first time, allowing news to propagate around the world faster than ever before. Today, most of the world's internet traffic flows through undersea cables of vast capacity. Existing cables flow with ever-multiplying streams of ones and zeros, the telegraph songs of the digital age. Computers control many aspects of our society, from healthcare to entertainment, electricity grids to banking. Devices like toasters, TVs, telephones, and cars owe their existence to the integrated circuit. A Carrington-type event could generate massive electrical currents, leading to widespread power grid failures and electronic circuit damage, far worse than the 1989 Quebec blackout. Such a solar storm could cripple key infrastructure, impacting power, food, water, transportation, security, and communication, leaving millions without the ability to charge phones or use electronic devices. A major solar storm would cause widespread blackouts, disabling vital water supply pumps. Interconnected issues could amplify, especially if the storm hits in winter when the cold is deadly. The internet would suffer, as undersea cables crucial for global digital traffic might be damaged, limiting the internet to smaller, vulnerable private networks. The storm's impact would vary globally, influenced by factors like the power grid, water proximity, Earth's magnetic field, and local geology, which affects ground conductivity. China, the United States, and Australia are particularly vulnerable to power outages due to various factors. The metropolitan corridor from Washington, D.C. to New York City is especially at risk. Satellites in space could fail as their electronics get fried during geomagnetic storms. For instance, a coronal mass ejection in March 2022 caused the failure of 40 SpaceX Starlink satellites due to increased atmospheric drag, leading them to burn up upon re-entry. Although satellites handle only about 1% of global internet traffic, they are crucial for financial transactions, ATM operations, and banking communications. Widespread communication loss would lead to chaos and could take years to recover from. Professionals have studied how solar storms can disrupt the Earth's magnetic field, causing large currents in power lines that damage transformers and electrical systems. In the US, a major solar storm could leave tens of millions without power for weeks, months, or years, resulting in trillions in economic damage. Bill Nye argues that these estimates are vastly underestimated. Considering this, we must ask, how likely is another Carrington event? After 164 years, do such events happen sporadically or at regular intervals? Can we predict the next storm's timing and severity? Most importantly, how much warning would we have? First, we need to address the root cause of the issue, which is coronal mass ejections. Indeed, our understanding of them has greatly expanded since their discovery in 1971. On the other hand, coronal mass ejections can fool you, although they are more common during solar maximum because the sun's magnetic field reorients at that time. Our understanding of the processes that cause them is yet insufficient to predict when they will actually occur. Consequently, the likelihood of a repeat of the Carrington event is completely unknown. The frequency with which these occurrences happened prior to 1859 is similarly unknown. Such storms likely remained unrecorded prior to the invention of electric grids and equipment, with the exception of reports of spectacular auroras. How much warning could we have of a devastating storm? Scientists are aware of the risks and use AI to predict potential disasters. NASA's Dagger can alert us about 30 minutes before a storm. The sun is constantly monitored by Earth and satellites, but predicting the exact impact of a coronal mass ejection is challenging. Scientists, including those at the Space Weather Prediction Center, watch for solar storms that could affect Earth. For a solar storm to impact us, it must occur on the sun's side facing Earth, and the coronal mass ejection usually reaches us several days later. Satellites can temporarily disable their systems to avoid damage from large coronal mass ejections, and Earth-based power systems can be modified for extra grounding with prior notice. Scientists and governments are increasingly focusing on this issue, aiming to develop methods to withstand the sun's intense rays. Understanding the sun's magnetic field better is crucial for predicting future geomagnetic storms. The same precautions used to protect spaceship electronics can protect our power grids, but this requires global government action and significant funding. However, governments have yet to allocate sufficient resources to address this threat, making it unlikely they'll take the risk of another Carrington event seriously. To mitigate potential calamities, we must enhance our understanding of the Sun-Earth system, monitor solar activity, and improve space weather predictions. Better knowledge leads to more accurate forecasts, similar to regular weather predictions. Understanding the sun's complexities and its interactions with Earth is challenging. Our space weather predictions are about 50 years behind general weather forecasts. Thus, missions like the Parker Solar Probe, launched in 2018, are crucial. Parker has already uncovered how the sun transports energy, and in 2022 flew through a coronal mass ejection, providing valuable data to improve prediction accuracy. Bill Nye emphasizes the importance of determining the time as the first step in creating an early warning system to prevent disasters. However, he notes that current efforts are insufficient. The Parker probe, limited to studying the sun from one angle, can't serve as a full-time warning system. Nye suggests deploying a constellation of satellites around the sun, similar to Starlink around Earth, for comprehensive monitoring and warning. He advocates for bold, expansive ideas and risk-taking. Solar activity, while potentially destructive, may have accelerated life on Earth and protects us from more harmful cosmic radiation. Future space missions beyond Earth's magnetic field might benefit from periods of maximum solar activity. While solar storms pose significant risks, an active sun provides better protection against galactic hazards. If we could monitor and predict solar weather, we could reduce local threats and protect astronauts. Our actions now will have long-term impacts. Enhancing satellite resilience to geomagnetic storms is achievable. Following Quebec's billion-dollar investment in strengthening electrical infrastructure post-outage, the U.S. should also fortify its systems to withstand severe storms, not just weaker ones. Increased funding for solar research is a viable option. NOAA's Space Weather Follow-on L1 mission and NASA's Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, both launching in 2025, will monitor the sun and help predict space weather. The Parker Solar Probe, making its closest approach to the sun in late 2024, will become the fastest man-made object at 435,000 mph. Its mission concludes in 2025, but its excellent condition may allow for extended operations, providing valuable data to understand the sun and potentially mitigate the impact of future solar storms on humanity. Are we too dependent on technology, and could a disaster such as the G5 solar storm serve as a wake-up call to reevaluate our reliance on it?
We hiked in early in the morning, and we were pretty excited because the weather was actually really good. We're expecting to be hot, being the Grand Canyon in August.
An amazing thing happened at the canyon. This is a rare look at what could happen if disaster did strike in such a rugged place.
That's why everybody's sitting over there. They don't want to take a picture. And then they fall, and then somebody gets...
The Grand Canyon, not just one of the world's 7 natural wonders, holds nearly 2 billion years of history. You can truly grasp the structure of the canyon by observing how straight the outcrop belt is. That's the Paleozoic contact line, running sharply across the landscape. Beyond its stunning visuals, the canyon offers almost limitless troves of geological data. But the only history we truly know is the one we discover ourselves, not the one presented to us, which is often filled with inaccuracies. Some even speculate that a lost civilization, possibly Egyptian, once inhabited the Grand Canyon. This breathtaking area is known for its vast, vibrant rock formations, yet the government has restricted access to over 90% of this historical treasure. To add to the mystery, the small section that was accessible has now been shut down, following a mysterious discovery made by a drone. What exactly did the drone uncover, and why is the government so secretive about it? Join us as we uncover one of the American government's best-kept secrets, the forbidden area of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a marvel that every American should experience firsthand. As one of the world's 7 natural wonders, its creation story is more complex than you might think. Sculpted over millions of years by erosion, wind, rain, and the mighty Colorado River, the canyon stretches 277 miles long and has an average width exceeding 10 miles. But the most surprising fact is that the canyon's depth contains rocks dating from 250 million to 2 billion years old, earning it the nickname the basement of history. The Grand Canyon holds a treasure trove of geological information you won't find anywhere else. Yet, an unbelievable truth emerges. The American government has imposed restrictions on public access, rendering over 90% of this natural wonder off-limits. The most essential parts of the Grand Canyon are effectively shut down, but that's not the end of it. The government recently announced the indefinite closure of the portion of the canyon that was previously open to the public. Even more shocking is the fact that no single authority or agency manages the Grand Canyon. It's under the jurisdiction of several federal agencies, including the National Park Service, the Bureau of Land Management, the General Land Office, the U.S. Forest Service, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and even the Secret Service. This alone is enough to suggest that there is more to the park than we are led to believe. For instance, there is a section known as the Forbidden Area. Officially, this area is designated as a no-drone zone, but something interesting happened recently. A drone entered areas that are only accessible to park rangers, military personnel, and government officials, specifically where the Colorado and Little Colorado rivers converge, extending to the Anasazi Bridge. This region is significant to Native American tribes, particularly the Hopi and Navajo, who have lived there for thousands of years and consider it sacred. We also know that the area contains the Anasazi Bridge, a prehistoric structure made from pine trees, suspended 300 feet above the Colorado River. Historians believe the ancestral Pueblo people, who were ancestors of the Hopi and Navajo, used the bridge to cross the river. The government maintains that restrictions on the forbidden area of the canyon were put in place to protect the natural and cultural heritage of the park, ensure visitor safety, and preserve the park for future generations. However, some researchers believe these restrictions are a cover-up for a secret purpose. One popular theory is that the Forbidden Zone was once home to an ancient, possibly alien civilization that thrived within the canyon's depths. They even suggest that a secret underground city was found within the canyon in the early 1900s. This raises the question, why else would the government close off a canyon that could significantly boost tourism and the economy? Before continuing, what are your thoughts on the government restricting access to nearly 90% of this natural wonder? Some researchers have also revealed that ancient reptile fossils linked to an ancient Egyptian civilization were discovered in restricted areas. But the most significant revelation comes from experts who claim that a secretive branch of the U.S. federal government is responsible for monitoring the entire region. If you think their arguments make no sense, you'll be surprised by what we'll reveal next. Before diving into the shocking discovery by Alan Krill and others, let's take a brief journey down memory lane. The origin of the U.S. government's efforts to restrict access to the Grand Canyon dates back to 1908, when President Theodore Roosevelt initiated efforts to protect the Grand Canyon from the destructive forces of timber and mining. However, it wasn't until 1919 that Congress officially designated it a national park, bringing it under federal protection. Fortunately, before these federal restrictions were put in place, explorer G.E. Kincaid ventured into the depths of the Colorado River in search of precious metals like gold, silver, and copper. During his expedition near El Tova Crystal Canyon, he noticed peculiar stains on the sedimentary rock formations. His investigation led to a startling discovery, a hidden set of stairs carved into the canyon wall, leading to an artificial cavern entrance. Inside, the walls were adorned with ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Deeper into the tunnel, he found a massive underground complex capable of housing up to 50,000 people, complete with chambers, granaries, kitchens, dining areas, and metalworking workshops equipped with hardened copper tools. The origin of this strange complex remains a mystery. Within its hundreds of chambers, Kincaid joined forces with another explorer, Professor Jordan. Together, they found a treasure trove of artifacts, including swords and shields crafted from copper, bronze, and an unidentified gray metal. Despite extensive research, Kincaid and Professor Jordan were unable to determine who built the citadel. These stories tell of the rich cultural heritage of the American Southwest. While often dismissed as myths or legends, these stories are essential to the indigenous peoples who have lived in the region for millennia. The Grand Canyon, far from being merely a beautiful landscape or tourist destination, is a place of spiritual importance for these communities. Still, much of it remains a mystery to us today. But if we dismiss these ideas as mere myths, the shocking truth is that researchers have made recent observations that suggest there may have been life in those areas long ago. One of the most recent discoveries came from Norwegian geologist Alan Krill. While hiking the Bright Angel Trail in Grand Canyon National Park, Krill stumbled upon a remarkable find. This is where the debate begins. Some sources suggest the footprints he found belonged to an ancient animal, possibly a creature capable of laying hard-shelled eggs. However, these footprints are just one piece of the puzzle hidden within the Grand Canyon. While Krill's findings have sparked debate within the scientific community, something interesting happened. The government shut down the section where Krill found the prints. The lack of access prevents any definitive confirmation of the various theories. As mentioned earlier, the government's efforts to restrict access to the Grand Canyon didn't start today. But what exactly are they keeping from us? And why is the canyon declared a no-drone area? The Smithsonian National Museum played a role in this mystery. We previously mentioned that President Theodore Roosevelt initiated efforts to protect the canyon in 1908. Although he provided reasons for his decree, some believe he was hiding something by closing off sections of the canyon. This secret must be so important that it required the involvement of the President of the United States. But that's not all. The canyon came under federal control, and about 4 federal agencies were selected to oversee it. If you think that's all the government did to keep people away, you're in for a shock. We talked earlier about Professors Kincaid and Jordan's expedition into the Grand Canyon and their interactions with the locals. Just months after their initial expedition, they returned to the canyon's depths, determined to explore the mysterious underground city further. The silence surrounding their findings has been interpreted in 2 ways. Either someone in the top echelons of the American government warned the museum to suppress the matter, or the 2 professors were telling lies all along. However, there is yet another account that supports the claims of Kincaid and Jordan, John Wesley Powell's expedition. We'll soon discuss Powell's accounts, but it's essential to mention that decades have passed without concrete evidence supporting the existence of Professors Kincaid and Jordan or their groundbreaking expedition. Despite the lack of official corroboration, the story was published in the Arizona Gazette, igniting genuine interest in the Grand Canyon. The story captivated scientists, including archaeologists and geologists alike, not just for the breathtaking beauty of the canyon, but for the possibility of finding ancient secrets hidden within its depths. This newfound obsession with the Grand Canyon began an exciting chapter in the ongoing quest to resolve this mystery. After more than 100 years, the world had forgotten the claims that Kincaid and Jordan found a lost civilization in the Grand Canyon. But that all changed with the publication of John Wesley Powell's expedition down the Colorado River. Powell was a renowned geologist and the first director of the Bureau of American Ethnology, playing a vital role in exploring the American West. His leadership of the U.S. Geological Survey was instrumental in mapping and understanding the nation's geological features. However, his most significant contribution might be his exploration of the Grand Canyon area in the late 1800s. Here are the intriguing details of his journey. In 1869, John Wesley Powell, a Civil War veteran and esteemed geologist, embarked on a scientific expedition down the Colorado River and through the Grand Canyon. With a team of 10 men, 4 boats and provisions for a 10-month journey, Powell set off from the Green River in Wyoming on May 24, 1869. As they navigated the dangerous rapids of the Colorado River, Powell and his crew witnessed a landscape of extraordinary beauty: carved walls, majestic arches, deep canyons, and towering mounds. However, amidst these natural wonders, Powell made a rare discovery. Several caves along a well-worn path, fragments of pottery and hieroglyphs carved into the rocks. These remnants indicated that an ancient civilization once thrived in this remarkable region. It's important to note that Kincaid and Jordan embarked on their expedition to verify Powell's claims about an ancient civilization within the Grand Canyon, allegedly sponsored by the Smithsonian National Museum. While Powell's first expedition was successful, he needed concrete evidence for his claims. This theory is supported by historical records, which indicate that Powell's company was attacked by a Native American tribe, resulting in the tragic loss of 3 crew members at the Virgin River's mouth on August 30th, 1869. Historical accounts suggest that the Shivwits band of the Paiute Indians may have been responsible for the fatalities. After Powell's expeditions, he recorded carvings that were not typical of Native American cultures, which seemed to support the notion that Kincaid and Jordan truly encountered Egyptian artifacts. But the question remains, how could ancient Egyptians have reached Native American lands, and why would the government keep this a secret? Some experts believe the government is hiding historical information about Native Americans that, if exposed, could alter public opinion about how these indigenous peoples have been treated, particularly regarding land ownership. While we cannot be certain, there is a theory about how ancient Egyptian relics could have ended up among Native Americans. This wouldn't be the first time ancient Egyptian artifacts have been found outside Egypt. Beyond well-documented discoveries in Africa and the Middle East, ancient Egyptian artifacts have been found in some unbelievable locations. For example, in Brisbane Water National Park in Australia, a natural sandstone crypt was discovered in the 1980s, displaying approximately 300 hieroglyphic symbols depicting Egyptian deities, animals, and other motifs. While some suggest that Spanish miners carved these symbols during the 19th century gold rush, others believe that the Egyptians could have sailed there from Egypt. However, considering the nature of their wooden vessels, ancient Egyptians would have faced a daunting and dangerous journey, making it unlikely they would have reached such distant lands. Yet there is another fascinating account, the legendary pharaoh Necho, credited with commissioning a daring maritime expedition. According to the Greek historian Herodotus, Necho paid a crew of Phoenician navigators to sail around Africa, a feat that allegedly took 3 years to complete. This story, transmitted through oral tradition, aligns with Necho's reputation for wild adventures. He even attempted to construct a canal connecting the Nile to the Red Sea, a precursor to the Suez Canal, further demonstrating his visionary spirit. While there is no definite proof that Necho's African expedition took place, there is a chance that he could have achieved such a feat. Historical records show that the canal connecting the Nile and Red Seas was eventually completed by the Persians under the Achaemenid dynasty in 270 BC. Necho's ambitious engineering projects and subsequent naval expansion efforts suggest he was a ruler interested in sea exploration and territorial expansion. Although it's difficult to conclude that ancient Egyptians had contact with Native Americans within the Grand Canyon, any evidence supporting such a connection would dramatically alter our understanding of pre-Columbian American history. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain: the American government is determined to restrict access to and around the Grand Canyon for reasons known only to them. In 2011, a high-profile incident involving a drone pilot made headlines. The pilot was fined and had his equipment seized for flying over the Grand Canyon. He was also forced to surrender his drone's memory card under threat of a search warrant and was fined $320 for violating a federal code. Thank you for staying with us. Why do you think the government is so determined to keep the public away from the Grand Canyon? Share your opinions with us in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Also, click on the following video on your screen. You'll love it.
NASA's James Webb Space Telescope has hardly opened its eyes, and the universe is new.
50 years ago, didn't have the technology. 25 years ago, even when we started this, we had to invent things along the way, so we did that.
But this actually got a little bit of a sneak preview. I understand there was a very select audience who's already seen the image. Yes, so...
Picture yourself discovering a mysterious doorway on Mars, appearing as if it were carved by alien hands. This startling image is just one of the many eerie photographs taken by NASA's Curiosity rover as it explores Mars in search of life. Yet the mystery extends beyond the red planet. What if these images hint at something even more unsettling? What hidden secrets might be concealed within these snapshots? Come along as we delve into the alarming truths buried in NASA's photographs. NASA's Curiosity rover, which landed on Mars in 2012, has been hard at work exploring the Martian landscape. Its mission is to study the planet's surface and search for signs of past or present life. Over the course of its journey, Curiosity has captured numerous photos of unusual features that have left scientists intrigued. One particularly fascinating image taken on May 7th, 2022, shows a rock formation known as the East Cliffs. This formation contains several gaps with peculiar shapes, including one that resembles a doorway seemingly carved by intelligent beings. This discovery has fueled speculation about the possibility of ancient civilizations on Mars, shifting focus from Mars to a grander scale. NASA has predicted an extraordinary cosmic event, the future collision between our Milky Way galaxy and the neighboring Andromeda galaxy. This spectacular merger, expected to occur in about 4.5 billion years, will result in the formation of a single, larger galaxy. The Andromeda Galaxy, which is one of the closest galaxies to us, is hurtling towards the Milky Way at a staggering speed of 250,000 miles per hour. NASA captured a breathtaking image that beautifully illustrates this impending collision, revealing the ethereal and haunting beauty of the event. NASA's images don't just reveal the wonders of space, they also challenge our understanding of the universe and provoke new questions about the mysteries it holds, including the potential for life beyond Earth. On July 19, 2013, NASA's Cassini spacecraft, located about 1.2 billion miles from Earth, took a remarkable photograph that quickly captivated people worldwide. This special image, taken as Saturn eclipsed the Sun, included a rare view of Earth and the Moon, appearing as tiny, faint specks of light in the vastness of space. The photo is one of the few instances where our planet was captured from such a great distance in the solar system. Adding to the significance of this event, Carolyn Porco, who led Cassini's imaging team, encouraged people all over the globe to step outside and smile at the sky as the photo was taken. This collective moment of joy was later dubbed the Day Earth Smiled. NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft also contributed to the ongoing intrigue, with an image it captured on Mars, showing a formation that resembles a face in the otherwise barren landscape. This face on Mars sparked widespread interest, reminiscent of Earth's own ancient wonders like the pyramids and Stonehenge, which are steeped in mystery and historical significance. Whether this Martian face is simply an unusual rock formation or something more enigmatic remains a topic of fascination. Another curious find on Mars was captured by Curiosity, a photo of what appears to be a floating spoon-shaped rock. The image, which has led to lighthearted speculations about alien cutlery, underscores how Mars continues to surprise us with bizarre formations that challenge our understanding of the planet. As we move from Mars to the broader cosmos, our next destination is a giant star that seems to be ensnared in a cosmic web, ready to reveal more astonishing wonders. Shifting our focus from Mars, let's delve into CW Leonis, a star that might unsettle those with a fear of spiders. Captured by NASA's Hubble telescope from billions of miles away, CW Leonis, or the cobweb-dying star, is a red giant located in the Leo constellation. This massive star, 560 times larger than our Sun, is enshrouded in carbon dust, creating a spiderweb-like appearance. The carbon dust, approximately 69,000 years old, wraps around the star, which lies only 310 light-years from Earth, making it the closest carbon star to our planet. Moving at 91 kilometers per second through space, CW Leonis adds to the ever-growing list of cosmic wonders we encounter. As we continue exploring Mars and the universe, we uncover more surprises. From face-like rocks to floating spoons and bizarre shapes, Mars never fails to astonish us with its odd formations. Initially, some believed these strange objects were remnants of a Martian settlement, but NASA later clarified that they were not related to any Mars mission. Instead, they were likely pieces of Dacron netting from the rover's landing gear, torn and tangled by Martian winds, and light enough to be moved around by the planet's gentle breezes. The Black Knight photo is one of the most iconic UFO images ever captured. Its dark, enigmatic appearance has fueled speculation and curiosity, with many wondering if it might be proof of extraterrestrial life. This photo, taken during the STS-88 mission in 1998, the first space shuttle mission to dock with the International Space Station, ISS, shows a mysterious object floating in Earth's near-polar orbit. Some theorize it could be linked to the strange radio signals Nikola Tesla detected, while others suggest it might simply be space debris or a thermal blanket accidentally released during the mission. Despite various explanations, the Black Knight continues to captivate imaginations worldwide, remaining a subject of debate and fascination. NASA has provided explanations for this mysterious sighting, but none have fully satisfied everyone. Let's now explore another intriguing space mystery known as outer space music. This eerie audio was recorded during NASA's Apollo 10 mission, one of its successful lunar missions. In a video from the mission, astronauts can be heard discussing strange whistling sounds, which they jokingly referred to as outer space music. These sounds were captured in May 1969, while the shuttle was on the far side of the moon, and the recordings were kept secret for nearly 50 years. Today we can listen to this haunting audio, imagining what it must have been like to hear such noises while isolated in the vast dark expanse of space. NASA later attributed these sounds to radio interference, explaining that they occurred when the shuttle was out of direct communication with Earth. They described it as a technical glitch. Yet after hearing the recording, one might still wonder about these mysterious sounds and what they signify in the unknown realms of space. Moving beyond these strange noises, let's turn our attention to photos of cosmic wonders that challenge our perception of the universe. This image is incredibly intriguing, as its pattern closely resembles our ancient Stonehenge. Nevertheless, NASA and geological experts explain that it's simply a natural rock formation, coincidentally resembling one of Earth's iconic landmarks. They dismiss it as proof of extraterrestrial life. But that's not the most astonishing thing we've encountered. Let's shift our attention to something fascinating from our solar neighbor, the Sun. Another captivating image, a snapshot of the Sun that appears to be smiling, was captured by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. This photo hasn't been altered. The smile is actually formed by cooler regions of the Sun, known as coronal holes. While some people find this image endearing, others consider it somewhat eerie. Now let's delve into something even more thrilling. In 2017, an observatory in Hawaii detected something unusual within our solar system, an interstellar visitor. This object, which has the shape of a giant cigar, was named Oumuamua. Initially, it was thought to be a large asteroid or perhaps a comet. However, its peculiar shape led some to speculate that it might be an alien spacecraft passing through our solar system. Each of these discoveries ignites our curiosity, making us ponder what else could be out there. Could these strange formations and objects hold more secrets than we realize? As of now, the exact nature of this captivating object remains unclear. Measuring about 1,312 feet long and 131 feet wide, its reddish hue distinguishes it from any other asteroid observed before. And once more in 2019, NASA's Curiosity rover captured a bright light on Mars's horizon. These photos quickly sparked widespread discussion and speculation about potential activity on Mars. Scientists are still debating the origin of these bright spots, with some attributing them to cosmic rays striking the surface, while others think they might be sunlight reflecting off rocks. These mysterious lights have captivated people globally, fueling speculation about the possibility of life beyond Earth. Yet the most remarkable event occurred on February 7, 1984, during the Space Shuttle Challenger's STS-41B mission. NASA astronaut Bruce McCandless made history by becoming the first person to conduct a spacewalk without any tethers, using only a jetpack. Despite the risks, as he was entirely alone with no quick rescue possible, he accomplished this feat flawlessly. This daring act not only set a new record, but also became one of the most iconic moments in space exploration history. During Apollo 17's final mission, a photograph taken at Geophone Rock garnered significant attention. Initially, it appeared to be just an ordinary picture, but when scientists adjusted the contrast, they discovered something extraordinary: a pyramid-like structure on the moon's surface. This finding sparked discussions about ancient civilizations on the moon and drew parallels to the pyramids on Earth. And there was more to explore. Mars has something equally fascinating: morning frost. This frost is a crucial component of Mars's weather, providing insights into the planet's seasonal patterns and daily climate. Studying this frost helps scientists better understand Mars's water cycle, and it's akin to frosty mornings on Earth. This is an exciting area of research, especially for those interested in the potential for Mars to support life one day. Up next, we'll uncover even more incredible space phenomena that showcase the unexpected beauty and mystery of the universe. The European Space Agency's Trace Gas Orbiter, along with the Mars Express Orbiter, recently made a significant discovery. By analyzing various images they had collected, they observed frost forming on the peaks of some of Mars's highest volcanoes, including Olympus Mons, Arsia Mons, Ascraeus Mons, and Serranius Tholus. This frost appears just after the morning sunlight hits these peaks and quickly vanishes as it melts into Mars's thin atmosphere. Although the frost layer is incredibly thin, comparable to the width of a human hair, it contains about 150,000 tons of water. Meanwhile, the Event Horizon Telescope captured an extraordinary image that provided direct evidence for the existence of black holes, bolstering the theories proposed by Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. The photograph revealed a dark void encircled by a glowing ring of material, both eerie and beautiful. This supermassive black hole resides at the center of the Messier 87 galaxy, about 55 million light-years away, with a mass approximately 6.5 billion times that of our Sun. Yet this was not the only astonishing discovery. Another intriguing observation involved a letter L, found etched into Martian rocks, captured by the Mars Perseverance rover's SuperCam. Though it resembles graffiti, this mark is instrumental in helping scientists pinpoint exact locations for rock sample collection. This precise method aids researchers in maintaining detailed records of where each sample was obtained. Then there's the phenomenon of the zombie star, arising from a Type I supernova. This type of supernova doesn't entirely destroy the white dwarf star. Instead, it leaves behind a remnant that continues to draw material from nearby stars. As this material accumulates, the star becomes increasingly unstable, potentially leading to further explosions. Cezanne 2012Z, located in the galaxy NGC 1309 and observed by NASA's Hubble Space Telescope, is a prime example of this kind of star. But the universe held even more surprises. Take the Cat's Eye Nebula, NGC 6543 for instance. This nebula, located about 3,000 light-years away in the Draco constellation, offers a visually intricate and captivating scene. Formed from material ejected by a star similar to our Sun over 1,000 years ago, its complex structure and vibrant colors make it a focal point for astronomers. However, this was just one of the many fascinating discoveries scientists have made in space. In a distant part of the universe, two galaxies are slowly converging, setting the stage for a colossal collision. From afar, they resemble a glowing pumpkin with luminous eyes. At the center of each galaxy are enormous black holes, destined to merge and unleash a tremendous burst of energy. Simultaneously, NASA's Nuclear Spectroscopic Telescope captured an awe-inspiring image known as the Hand of God. This image, which resembles a hand, was created by high-energy X-rays emitted from material ejected during a star's explosive death. This pulsar wind nebula, formed by the remnants of a once bright star that exploded in a supernova, is both fascinating and a bit eerie. The expelled material shaped what is now called the Hand of God. Elsewhere in the cosmos, there lies a nebula called the Ghost Nebula, both eerie and captivating. Officially named VDB 141, this nebula resides in the constellation Cepheus and was photographed by the Mount Lemmon Sky Center. Located about 1,470 light-years away from Earth, the Ghost Nebula glows with a soft, pale yellow light from the numerous stars within it, giving it a mysterious appearance. It functions as a cosmic mirror, reflecting the light of these stars and enhancing its ghostly glow. As we venture further into space, we encounter stars behaving in ways that continually reshape our understanding of the universe. The universe constantly surprises us, revealing new mysteries with each discovery. This means countless secrets are still hidden in the vast expanse of space, waiting to be uncovered. NASA recently released an image showing 24 black holes drifting through space. Known as rogue black holes, these massive objects are thought to roam freely across the universe. Within our own Milky Way galaxy, scientists estimate there are around 100 million of these black holes. They travel through space, pulling in anything that comes too close. These black holes are enormous, at least 20 times the mass of our sun, and some may be even larger. They race through the cosmos like cannonballs always in motion. Now consider a vampire star. This is a star that behaves like a cosmic predator, siphoning hydrogen and plasma from nearby stars. It's a celestial version of cannibalism where one star feeds off another. When these vampire stars drain their neighbors, those stars can be reduced to much smaller objects like white dwarfs. But the danger doesn't stop there. This process can trigger a massive explosion known as a supernova, which could also destroy the vampire star itself. NASA has identified several of these vampire stars over the years. One notable example is 17 Lepus Blue. Despite its harmless-sounding name, this star's behavior is anything but benign. As these vampire stars continue to feed, the likelihood of a supernova increases, turning the serenity of space into a dramatic and violent scene. The competition for survival in space can be intense. Black holes and vampire stars are just two examples of the universe's harsh and unpredictable nature. The existence of millions of black holes in our galaxy, along with vampire stars devouring their neighbors, underscores the complexity of space. While black holes and vampire stars might seem terrifying, they are essential to the universe's natural cycle. They play a crucial role in shaping galaxies and can even contribute to the formation of new stars. Despite their destructive power, they are vital in the grand scheme of the cosmos. As scientists continue to study these remarkable objects, the quest to understand the universe deepens. There are still many mysteries to solve, and each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the universe we inhabit. Are we truly alone in the universe, or are these phenomena just the beginning? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.
Exciting new discovery at Mammoth Cave National Park. Cave guides have discovered the remains of an ancient species of shark.
10 years ago or longer, we never would have anticipated this moment where Marty and I get to go down together underground in the money.
The skeletons of giants being found in Lovelock Cave in northern
Deep beneath the earth and hidden in the shadows of time lie secrets that have shaped our very existence. From the echoing caves of Atapurca, where our ancestors walked 1 million years ago, to the mystical depths of Mexico's underwater worlds, history is whispering its tales. Are you ready to uncover the secrets of our ancient past? Let's start our adventure and climb the Atapurca mountains. Discovery in Atapurca Mountains, Spain. In the shadowed folds of Spain's Atapurca Mountains, a groundbreaking discovery awaits those who dare to delve into the depths of our past. Here, amidst the ancient whispers of time, scientists have unearthed human bones that reach back 800,000 years, offering us a rare glimpse into the very dawn of humanity. These aren't just fossils, they are the keys to unlocking the mysteries of our earliest ancestors. Imagine walking the same ground as these ancient beings, sharing the same air under the same sky. The Atapurca findings challenge our understanding of human history, pushing the boundaries of what we know about our origins. From the ancient soils of Spain, we journey thousands of miles east to Siberia's Denisova Cave, where modern science unlocks secrets encoded in DNA. Denisova Cave discoveries Siberia. In the remote and icy heart of Siberia lies the Denisova Cave, a site that's rewriting the story of human evolution with every grain of soil analyzed. Here, scientists have uncovered evidence of a past more complex and interconnected than we ever imagined. Through meticulous examination of hundreds of soil samples, a tale of ancient inhabitants unfolds, revealing Denisovans first settled the cave around 250,000 years ago. Remarkably, Neanderthals followed, introducing a dynamic chapter of coexistence and interaction. But the cave's secrets don't stop there. A groundbreaking discovery of Denisovan bones dating back 200,000 years, identified through advanced zooarchaeology by mass spectrometry, pushes the boundaries of our understanding. Perhaps most astonishing is the evidence of a child born from a Neanderthal mother and a Denisovan father, challenging our perceptions of these ancient groups as separate entities. Leaving behind Siberia's icy enigma, we venture to the Chauvet Cave in France, where prehistoric art whispers tales of ancient eruptions and human wonder. Chauvet Cave Paintings, France. Imagine stepping into the dimly lit chambers of France's Chauvet Cave, where the walls are adorned with some of the earliest known and best preserved figurative drawings made by human hands. Here, scientists have made a breathtaking discovery among the ancient artwork, believed to be around 36,000 years old. Once thought to be abstract designs, these paintings are now interpreted as depictions of a volcanic eruption, a vivid snapshot of nature's fury witnessed by our ancestors. This revelation not only showcases the exceptional observational skills of early humans, but also represents a profound connection to their environment. Through splashes of red and white, next to drawings of lions and mammoths, these cave paintings challenge our understanding of prehistoric art, suggesting it was not merely for decoration or ritual, but also a record of the dramatic events that shaped their world. As we delve deeper into humanity's saga, we return to the Atapuerca Mountains, uncovering even older secrets buried within the earth. Further explorations in Atapuerca Mountains. In the rolling hills of Spain's Atapuerca Mountains, a discovery has emerged that could redefine the history of human evolution in Europe. Amidst the rich tapestry of ancient remains, scientists have unearthed a jawbone that whispers tales from 1.4 million years ago, possibly the oldest evidence of our ancient human relatives on the European continent. This remarkable find, nestled in layers of history, challenges previous records and invites us to reimagine the journey of humanity across ancient landscapes. With artifacts and fossils dating back millions of years, Atapuerca stands as a testament to the complexity and depth of human history. As researchers employ cutting-edge dating methods to unveil the true age of this jawbone, we stand on the brink of uncovering new chapters of our shared past, revealing the early Europeans in unprecedented detail. Crossing the ocean to Mexico, the submerged mysteries of the Sac-Actun system await, revealing a submerged chronicle of ancient American life. Sac-Actun system, Mexico. Beneath the lush jungles of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, an underwater labyrinth holds the key to ancient mysteries. The Sac-Actun system, the world's longest underwater cave, stretches over 215 miles, weaving through the Earth's depths near the famed city of Tulum. This subterranean wonder is part of the Great Maya Aquifer, offering a unique glimpse into the past. Within its dark waters, divers and archaeologists have discovered prehistoric ochre mines, preserved tools, and evidence of ancient fires, revealing that humans ventured into these caves thousands of years ago for resources crucial to their survival. Among the most breathtaking finds is the skeleton of a young girl named Nyes, dating back over 13,000 years, making her one of the oldest human remains in the Americas. From the depths of underwater caves, we shift to the meticulous recreation of history in France, where the Lascaux cave replicas bridge the gap between past and present. Lascaux Cave Replicas, France. In an ambitious endeavor to bridge the gap between ancient artistry and modern appreciation, artists and craftsmen have meticulously recreated the magic of France's Lascaux Cave. Known for its stunning prehistoric paintings, the original Lascaux Cave has been off-limits to the public since 1963 to preserve its delicate artworks. However, the creation of Lascaux 4, an incredibly accurate full-scale replica, allows visitors to step back in time and marvel at the detailed reproductions of hunting scenes and animal figures that adorn the walls of the original cave over 17,000 years ago. Located near the original site, this replica was crafted by a dedicated team of 25 skilled individuals, utilizing both modern technology and traditional techniques to capture the essence of Paleolithic creativity. Embarking from France's replicated caves, our journey leads us to Slovenia's Škocjan Caves, marveling at the natural architecture sculpted by millennia. Škocjan Caves, Slovenia. Embark on a journey with us to the heart of Slovenia, where the Škocjan Caves open a portal to an ancient world, sculpted by the mighty River Reka. These caves are not just a natural wonder, they are a testament to the power of water over stone, creating Europe's largest underground canyon. Inside, a realm of giant halls, towering natural bridges, and over 30 cascading waterfalls awaits, making the Škocjan Caves a spectacle of unparalleled beauty. This subterranean marvel, recognized by UNESCO, is more than a breathtaking landscape. It's a living museum of history and geology. As we navigate the 3-kilometer path, climbing 500 steps and traversing hills, we're walking the same paths that ancient peoples might have tread, marveling at the same natural wonders. The narrative then takes us back to Mexico, where the Neka Crystal Cavern dazzles with its geological wonders, forming a bridge from the natural world to our ancient texts. Neka Crystal Cavern, Mexico. Deep within the earth, in the heart of Mexico's Chihuahuan Desert, lies a hidden marvel that seems more fantasy than reality, the Neka Crystal Cavern. Unearthed by miners in 2000, this subterranean wonder features some of the largest natural crystals ever discovered, towering at lengths of up to 40 feet and creating a landscape of breathtaking beauty. Formed from selenite, these gigantic crystals have grown in scorching conditions, in water temperatures exceeding 122 degrees Fahrenheit, a testament to the unique and extreme geological processes of our planet. The cavern's discovery offers a rare glimpse into the slow yet powerful forces that shake the Earth's interior, revealing the conditions that allow such magnificent formations to occur over hundreds of thousands of years. Finally, we traverse time and space to the ancient lands near the Dead Sea, where the scrolls reveal the earliest whispers of Judaism and Christianity, anchoring our journey in the written word. Dead Sea Scrolls. In the barren landscapes near the Dead Sea, a discovery emerged that would illuminate the dusky corridors of ancient history, shedding light on the early stages of Judaism and Christianity. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a collection of texts uncovered between 1947 and 1956, represent a treasure trove of religious and historical significance. Among these ancient parchments, the oldest copies of the Hebrew Bible ever found reveal a religious landscape rich with diversity and depth. These scrolls are not merely artifacts. They are a direct link to our spiritual ancestry, containing texts that predate Christ by 300 years and extend 100 years after. Through the complete book of Isaiah, nearly identical to its modern counterpart, and documents from a specific religious group, the scrolls offer a unique glimpse into the beliefs, practices, and daily lives of people during Second Temple Judaism. In traversing the globe from the ancient caves of France to the mysterious depths of Siberia, and delving deep into the sacred texts of the Dead Sea Scrolls, we journey through the annals of time to uncover the pivotal discoveries that continue to reshape our understanding of human history. Each artifact, each bone, each scroll serves as a crucial piece of the puzzle, offering insights into the complex tapestry of human evolution, art, culture, and spirituality. As we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, peering into the past, we are reminded of our shared heritage and the unbreakable bonds that connect us to the very essence of humanity. This journey into our ancient past is not just an exploration of history. It's a mirror reflecting our own story, urging us to ponder where we come from and, perhaps, where we are heading. We hope you found these facts intriguing. If you've heard them before or have any thoughts to share, please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to A World to Discover to join us on our journey of discovery. While you're still here, feel free to click on other videos you will see on your screen right now.